Have you ever found yourself feeling like your life is like a leaf in the wind, carried by forces beyond your control, without leaving a noticeable mark? Perhaps at times you have questioned whether your actions truly make a difference in the grand scheme of things. This feeling of insignificance can be painful, but know that it is a more common experience than it seems. Many people who carry within themselves the potential to transform the world go through this journey of invisibility. They may feel like dim stars in the night sky, present but unnoticed. Loneliness and misunderstanding are frequent companions of those who have a greater mission, often because their gifts and visions are ahead of their time or out of the ordinary. If you find yourself in this situation, where the feeling of disconnection and isolation is strong, it could be a sign that you have been chosen for something great. Major changes usually begin in silence, in places where few are looking. Perhaps your feeling of being small in the face of the world is just the prelude to the awakening of a greater purpose, a calling to make a difference in ways that have not yet been revealed. Think of the story of David, the young shepherd who tended his family's sheep. In the eyes of others, he seemed just another ordinary boy, without great importance. However, God chose him to face the giant Goliath and eventually become the king of Israel. David might have felt small and insignificant, but his faith and courage revealed the greater purpose for which he had been created. He is a clear example of how someone who seemed irrelevant in the eyes of others was destined for a great mission. Another example is Moses, who spent 40 years as a shepherd in the desert before being called to free the people of Israel from slavery in Egypt. During these years, Moses might have felt forgotten or useless, but God was preparing him to lead one of the greatest missions of all time. Moses had to confront his own sense of inadequacy to fulfill the calling God gave him, showing that feeling small does not prevent the fulfillment of great purposes. Finally, consider the story of Esther, a young Jewish woman who became queen of Persia. She might have felt insignificant in such a grand and hostile environment, but she was placed in that strategic position to save her people from imminent destruction. Esther had to recognize the greater purpose for which she was placed in that place, and by accepting her role, she made a monumental difference in the history of Israel. These examples show that even when we feel small or invisible, it may be preparation for something much greater that we do not yet understand. Like David, Moses, and Esther, our perception of insignificance may be precisely the fertile ground where God plants the seeds of a great mission. 1. You feel completely alone. Loneliness can be a difficult burden to bear. Perhaps you feel that there is no one around you who understands your thoughts or feelings, and that no one seems to share your vision or see the world as you do. This isolation can be compared to carrying a backpack full of stones. Each step is harder, especially when you want to share your dreams and ideas. But it seems that no one is willing to listen. This feeling may even make you question your own worth. However, this loneliness is often a sign that you are on a unique path, a path that few have the courage to follow. It is common for those destined to achieve great things to feel isolated and misunderstood. Many of the most influential and innovative leaders in history went through moments of isolation before finding people who shared their vision and purpose. Just as a seed needs a period alone in the dark to grow and transform into a beautiful plant, the loneliness you feel may be the necessary environment for you to discover your true potential. This time of introspection and inner growth may be what prepares you for the great things you were destined to achieve. Feeling completely alone can be a painful experience, especially when it seems that no one around you understands your thoughts or shares your vision. However, this loneliness can be a sign that you are treading a unique path, something that many great leaders and biblical figures also faced. Consider the example of Joseph, who was sold by his own brothers and ended up in prison, in a foreign country, completely alone. He could easily have felt abandoned and worthless. However, God was with him during that time of isolation, preparing him to become the second most powerful man in Egypt and save many lives during a severe famine. Another example is Elijah, the prophet, who isolated himself in the desert, feeling completely alone and discouraged after facing Queen Jezebel. He believed he was the only one who still remained faithful to God. However, God revealed to Elijah that he had reserved 7,000 in Israel who had not bowed to Baal. This time of solitude in the desert was crucial for Elijah's strengthening and for him to fulfill his mission as a prophet of God. Finally, Jesus Christ, in the Garden of Gethsemane, also experienced a moment of profound loneliness. While his disciples slept, he prayed alone, carrying the weight of what he was about to face. This moment of solitude was essential for him to fulfill God's will and bring salvation to the world. These biblical examples teach us that loneliness, although painful, can be fertile ground for growth and preparation for great things. When you feel alone, it is not because you have been forgotten or left behind. It is because you are being shaped for something greater. Like Joseph, Elijah, and Jesus, your loneliness may be preparing you to fulfill a unique and significant purpose. The lesson here is clear. Do not be discouraged in moments of isolation. Instead, see them as a divine opportunity to strengthen your faith, clarify your vision, and prepare your heart for the calling that is to come. Remember, the greatest deeds usually arise in the loneliest moments. 2. You are misunderstood. When people cannot understand you, it may seem that they are on completely different frequencies from yours. Your thoughts and feelings, although clear to you, seem not to be picked up by others. It is like trying to describe a symphony to someone who has never heard music. This lack of harmony between what you express and how others perceive it can be painful and make you feel isolated. Perhaps your dreams and goals are not seen with the same enthusiasm by others. This lack of understanding can generate frustration and sadness, especially when your good intentions are misinterpreted. However, this feeling of being misunderstood can also indicate that you are thinking creatively and innovatively. Your ideas may be different and even advanced for your time. Therefore, do not give up. Continue to express your thoughts and share your visions, even if others' initial reaction is one of strangeness or misunderstanding. Your unique perspective has the potential to make a difference in the world, even if the people around you cannot yet perceive it. Remember that many of the greatest thinkers and visionaries also faced misunderstanding before their ideas were recognized and valued. The lesson here is that you should not underestimate your ideas just because others do not yet understand them. Stay firm on your path, because what you see may one day be appreciated and recognized by everyone. What is seen as strange or incomprehensible today may become the light that will guide many in the future, and your vision will become reality. 3. You have no help. Sometimes, life can place such great responsibilities on you that it seems that no one around you understands or is willing to help. It can be like walking down an unknown path, where the lack of support makes each step heavier and more solitary. The absence of encouragement can generate frustration and exhaustion, but it can also be the starting point for something powerful. Instead of seeing this lack of support as an insurmountable obstacle, consider it an opportunity to reinvent yourself and discover new strengths within you. Imagine, for example, David, the young shepherd who faced Goliath without the support of Israel's great warriors. He did not have the approval of others, but his confidence in God and his abilities led him to a victory that changed his life and the history of his people. This moment of solitude and challenge was actually the catalyst for the grand destiny that awaited him. Another perspective comes from the story of Joseph, who, after being betrayed by his brothers, spent years in prison before becoming second in command of Egypt. During those years of isolation, without the support of his family, Joseph developed the resilience and wisdom that prepared him for his crucial role in saving nations from famine. What seemed like abandonment was actually the building of his character and destiny. These situations show us that the lack of external support can be a tool for personal and spiritual growth. When the support of others is not present, you have the chance to connect more deeply with your own beliefs and values, to become more self-sufficient and determined. The absence of help can be the perfect environment for the emergence of new skills and to strengthen your faith. By facing challenges with this perspective, you transform moments of loneliness into opportunities for growth. It may be that now you are planting the seeds of inner strength that will empower you not only to overcome your own obstacles, but also to guide and inspire others who will one day face similar challenges. 4. The world hates you. When you are chosen to make a significant impact, it may seem at first that everything is against you, especially when criticism and negativity become constant. People may harshly judge your actions or ideas, making you question whether you are on the right path. This resistance can be demotivating, especially when your intentions are sincere and aimed at good. It is easy to start doubting your purpose in the face of so much opposition. However, it is important to remember that the great innovators and leaders in history also faced similar challenges. Think of Moses, who, when called to free the Israelites from Egypt, faced enormous resistance, both from Pharaoh and from his own people, who doubted his mission. Yet, he remained steadfast, and his perseverance changed the course of history. Similarly, Martin Luther King Jr. challenged the status quo during a period of great racial tension in the United States. He faced not only criticism but also threats to his life and that of his family. However, he transformed this resistance into a force that drove him to fight even harder for justice and equality, resulting in profound changes in society. These examples show that when you are on the path to provoking real change, opposition is inevitable. The criticism and resistance you face might actually be signs that you are stirring something important. Instead of seeing negativity as an obstacle, view it as a sign that your message is being heard and is making an impact. Use this resistance as a catalyst to strengthen your determination. Understand that the discomfort your ideas may cause in some is often what leads to transformation. When you refuse to be shaken by adversity and instead use it as fuel for your mission, you not only overcome challenges, but also pave the way for lasting change. 5. Life is hard. Sometimes life seems like an endless sequence of problems that keep coming up, leaving you feeling overwhelmed and exhausted. You might be dealing with family conflicts that seem unsolvable, or perhaps the pressures of work are draining your energy and motivation. Maybe in school, you face academic difficulties or social challenges that make each day feel like a battle. It is like being trapped in a storm, struggling to find a way out. However, each of these challenges, no matter how difficult, plays a crucial role in your journey. For example, when you face a family conflict, you may learn the importance of forgiveness and communication, skills that are fundamental to building healthy relationships. In the workplace, the moments when you feel overwhelmed can teach resilience and the ability to prioritize what really matters. In school, academic difficulties can encourage you to develop discipline and a work ethic that will be essential for your future success. These struggles are not just random tests. They are shaping you for something greater. Imagine an athlete training hard for a competition. Every drop of sweat and every moment of fatigue is necessary to achieve victory. Likewise, every challenge you face builds your character and develops skills that will prepare you to help others. When you overcome a major problem, such as resolving a family conflict or achieving a professional goal, you not only strengthen yourself, but also become an inspiration to those around you who may be facing similar struggles. Remember that the lessons you learn in the midst of difficulties are what empower you to positively impact the lives of others. For example, if you have overcome a difficult financial situation, you can use that experience to advise and support someone going through the same. Or, if you have won a battle against an illness, your story can offer hope and encouragement to someone facing something similar. The strength you gain from overcoming your challenges is not just for you. It is a light to guide others on their own journeys. 6. You face betrayal. Being betrayed by someone you trust is one of the most difficult and painful experiences a person can face. It is as if someone pulled the rug out from under your feet, leaving you stunned and vulnerable. Perhaps it is a close friend who shared your secrets with others, a co-worker who took advantage of your trust for their own benefit, or even a partner who broke fundamental promises. The pain that accompanies this betrayal can be overwhelming, causing a deep sense of hurt and making you question your ability to judge people's character. This betrayal can lead to a period of introspection, where you start to doubt not only others, but yourself, your choices, your intentions, and even your worth. It is normal to feel lost, hurt, and even angry. However, as difficult as it may be, this experience also offers an opportunity to learn and grow. For example, when you go through a betrayal, it can reveal the true intentions of the people around you. Perhaps you trusted someone who seemed to be an ally, but was actually not committed to your well-being. This painful revelation, as harsh as it is, allows you to see clearly who is really by your side. 7. You have a deep sense of purpose. Sometimes you may feel a deep force driving you towards something greater, something spiritual that transcends what is visible and understandable. It is as if there is an inner voice calling you to a divine purpose, something you cannot fully explain, but you know is vital to your journey. This spiritual calling can be both inspiring and overwhelming, creating a sense of excitement mixed with reverence and responsibility. This feeling can manifest as an urgent need to serve God's greater purpose. Perhaps it is a desire to dedicate yourself to prayer and meditation, seeking a deeper connection with the divine. It could be an urge to start a ministry, help those in need, or even share your faith with those who are lost or in doubt. However, this spiritual passion can become a burden when those around you do not share the same conviction or do not understand what you are trying to achieve. It can be discouraging to realize that while you feel a deep connection with your spiritual mission, others may not see its importance or urgency. See this spiritual calling as a blessing and a responsibility. It is a reminder that even when the weight seems too heavy or you feel alone, your mission has the potential to make an eternal difference. 8. It seems like you don't get the credit you deserve. There are moments when you dedicate yourself completely to something, whether in your work, a personal project, or your spiritual journey. And despite all your effort and dedication, it seems like no one notices or acknowledges the value of what you have done. It can be disheartening when you put your heart and soul into something, only to see others receive the credit or honors you feel you also deserve. This can leave you feeling invisible or underestimated, as if your contributions are not important. 9. You don't want or don't have many friends. It is common to feel that you do not need or do not want to have many friends, especially when your life journey leads you to unique and intensely personal paths. While many value constant socialization and the creation of large circles of friendship, you may find yourself more comfortable in your own company or with just a few close friends. This can make you feel different, or even isolated. But this preference may reflect a deeper search for meaning and authenticity in your relationships. The quality of relationships often matters more than the quantity. Having few friends, or even preferring solitude, can be a sign that you value deeper and more meaningful connections. This may also reflect a spiritual or personal journey where you are focused on something greater, something that perhaps is not easily understood by many. Instead of worrying about the number of friends you have, value the genuine connections that truly enrich your life. 10. You seem to be stuck in dark situations. There are moments when life places us in situations that seem to have no way out, as if we were stuck in constant darkness. It may be a prolonged period of unemployment, a crisis in an important relationship, or a battle against depression. These phases can make you feel that you are alone, without support, and without a light at the end of the tunnel. Think of the story of Viktor Frankl, an Austrian psychiatrist who survived the horrors of Nazi concentration camps during World War II. Frankl lost practically everything: his family, his friends, his freedom. He was literally trapped in one of the darkest situations imaginable, surrounded by death and despair. However, even in the midst of this darkness, Frankl found a purpose. He believed that even in the worst circumstances, life has meaning. This conviction not only helped him survive, but also led him to develop logotherapy, a form of psychotherapy based on the search for meaning in life. Frankl transformed his experience of darkness into something that not only gave meaning to his life, but also offered hope and purpose to millions of people. His story teaches us that even in the most desperate situations, there is the possibility of finding a path to something greater. Darkness can be a period of introspection and strengthening that, in the end, reveals the light and purpose you were looking for. 11. Randomly, out of nowhere, someone will attack you. At unexpected moments, you may find yourself the target of criticism, attacks, or hostile behavior from people around you, even without having done anything to provoke them. This can happen in everyday situations such as at work, at school, or even among friends and family. These random attacks can be unsettling and painful, leaving you wondering why this is happening and what you did to deserve such treatment. These random and unjustified attacks, though painful, may be a sign that you are touching on something sensitive or challenging the status quo in some way. It may be that your presence, your ideas, or even your success arouses feelings of insecurity or envy in other people, leading them to react negatively. The important thing is how you respond to these attacks. Instead of being discouraged or retaliating, try to understand that often these attacks are more about the other person's insecurities or problems than about you. Stay true to your values and purposes, and use these experiences as an opportunity to strengthen your resilience and character. 12. You feel disappointed. Because people around you don't do the right thing at the right time for you. It is frustrating when you expect the people around you to act in a certain way or offer the necessary support, and they end up failing or not meeting your expectations. Maybe you are going through a difficult time and need help, but those you trusted do not show up. Or maybe you are expecting someone to take an important initiative, and instead, you end up disappointed. For example, imagine being in a situation where you worked hard on a project and relied on the collaboration of colleagues to meet a crucial deadline. However, they failed to deliver their parts on time, compromising the final result and leaving you overwhelmed and disappointed. This can lead to feelings of frustration and even hurt because you trusted that these people would do the right thing at the right time. This kind of disappointment is common, especially when we place high expectations on others. However, this experience also offers a learning opportunity. First, It teaches the importance of clear and assertive communication. Often, the people around us are not clear about our expectations or the urgency of the situation. Learning to communicate effectively can help align expectations and prevent future disappointments. Moreover, these situations can be a lesson in self-sufficiency and resilience. Although it is natural to expect others to do their part, it is important to be prepared to deal with situations where this does not happen. It can be a chance to develop new skills, find alternative solutions, and grow in your ability to solve problems independently of others' support. Therefore, my friends, trust the process, understanding that every effort, no matter how small it may seem, is part of a bigger plan. If you identified with these signs, remember that feeling insignificant at times does not diminish your value or importance. Your journey, despite the challenges, is shaping you to become the person capable of provoking real changes. Trust your purpose, and keep in mind that even the softest voices can have a profound impact. You were chosen, and the effect of your presence in the world is yet to be revealed. Never underestimate the power that exists within you. Every step you take, even in difficulties, is contributing to something greater. Stay firm in your mission, because the world needs what only you can bring.